Hey everybody, Joe here. Make sure my mic's not too loud. There we go. So, as I've been, the theme that I am pushing as of late is the opposite of what you're getting from the Black Pillars on X and everything. The reason that that's important is because we are indeed winning. Once you break 100 subs on this platform here, there's these little groups of libs that for whatever reason track these. It's like a known thing now on YouTube. There's all kinds of people that run conservative channels on here, smaller ones, that say the same thing. Once you break a certain amount of number as followers, they start flooding your comments. That's been happening to me, so I just mute them from the channel because who wants to listen to whiny libs be wrong all the time? But the reason that I say we're winning on so many things is, I mean, just look at how Trump basically played liberals into begging or like forcing the release of the Epstein files, all so that it would blow up in their face. We've got Whoopi Goldberg now. Oh, The View, after we heard for years that Trump's name's in the files, that means he's guilty. Um, yeah, that's changed quite a bit from what they used to say. Um, Let me see if I can find that for you really quick. It's actually quite hilarious. Oh, let's see if we can find it. Because now they've changed their story completely. Yeah, no, latest. I'm trying to find it really quick for us, but I may not be able to. She says a lot of dumb shit. So wow, I guess I never realized. Let's see. 5 hours. There it is, right there. All right, so here we go. Let's take a look at this first because this is too sweet to not bite into. So it went from Trump's trying to hide the list because he's in there, or hide the files because he's in there. And as it turns out, that was a big nothing burger. You've got leftists like Harry Sissy talking about, oh, there was the FBI found a credible report, a 13-year-old, blah 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 blah. It wasn't a credible report found by the FBI. The FBI didn't even talk to that person. The person that gave the report about her to the FBI was a whole other person, and they didn't find any. They didn't find it credible or not credible. They're just like, okay, thanks for the tip. But this same girl is the one that was being pushed by anti-Trump lawyer. Like he's like a lawyer, sleazebag Jerry Springer show guy. It was a soap opera nonsense, and she never filed the case because it was bullshit. The left will tell you, oh, Trump threatened her. No, he didn't even know who she was because they kept her name hidden. But anyway, so let's go ahead until it was over anyway. Let's go ahead and take a look at this because as you can see, it's blown up in their faces. Let's listen to this.
Now, in the name of transparency, can you put up my name is in the files? Yes. And what does it say? It says, Whoopi needs a plane to get to Monaco. John Lennon's charity, it should say Julian Lennon's charity, is paying for it. They don't want to charter, so they're looking for private owners. Here's the info. And they give all the information, and they're saying, do you want to offer your G2?
Okay. And it looks like they said no thanks.
Yeah.
So in other words, anybody can be on this list.
Well, this is my point, because I'm telling you, when I tell you people are trying to turn me into, I wasn't his girlfriend. I wasn't his friend.
You were too old for him.
I was.
Oh, but we heard from these people that Trump was bad because he was in the file and he knew Jeffrey Epstein. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny how the narrative's shifting now? Listen, it gets better.
Not only too old, but it was at a time, where this is just not. You used to have facts before you said stuff.
But Trump is on the list 38,000 times.
Well, I can't speak to him, but I'm speaking about me.
Isn't that funny? But Trump is on the list 38,000 times. Now, if this clip has it, I'm not sure if this clip has it, because like I said, I had to search for this. You'll see why this is funny that she brings that up.
Because I'm getting dragged. People actually believe that I was with him. It's like, honey, come on. Yeah. Every man that I've ever been with, you've known about him because either the Inquirer wrote it about it.
Yeah.
Your people wrote about this stuff. So no, I never had this, and no, I didn't get on the plane because you know what I would have to do to get on the plane? They were trying to,
And she doesn't fly.
no, so they're trying
She's
to
a
get
bus
me.
babe.
They're trying to
No.
get me to get on a plane to get to this thing for Julian Lennon.
Yeah, but the thing is, they dropped like 300 names.
Yes.
And it's like flood the zone because when you're
Yes.
looking, there are people
Yes.
like Marilyn Monroe, who was
Yes.
dead.
Elvis.
Yeah, a
is
lot of
on the
people, because a
thing.
lot of the reasons your name can be mentioned are news articles, third-party emails, contacts. Again, wealthy, famous people often cross in professional and social circles, so that's not the surprising part.
After she just said, Trump's in there 38,000 times. Dude, you can't make this stuff up. He set the trap, and I did it again. He set the trap. They fell into it, and now they get to deal with it. In fact, Thomas Massey's law, the way that it was written, and Ro Khanna's law, the way it was written, allowed for their names to be in it because their law was part of the case. So therefore, they were public figures who were they instructed any public figures whose names mentioned at all in the files needs to be released, even if it's embarrassing. MTG's name's in there now, his name's in there now, and they're melting down that their own law forced their hand. Oh, well, here's the names. Everybody. All of them. I didn't see Kurt Cobain, though. He's in there, too. Kurt Cobain was dead as well. So, for years, matter of fact, the reason I got banned from here was when my first channel blew up, which is now a whole different channel. It doesn't have anything to do with news. My first channel blew up, and the next thing I know, the only comments I'm getting are largely from leftists. The reason I got banned was because said leftists will watch your videos, look for anything to report you for, and turn you over to YouTube. That's their sole existence. They can't have difference in speech or thoughts or ideas, and they know they're always wrong. The newest case in point would be this. I was banned from YouTube for basically just COVID. Let's just put it that way. And the vaccines. And this is from I Effing Love Science. And you can clearly see the title says, Mystery of Rare Blood Clots After COVID Vaccines Finally Solved After Years-Long Scientific Quest. So we said that these cause COVID. Or cause blood clots. And here we are. They cause blood clots. They say that it's VITT, vaccine-induced immune thrombocytopenia, and thrombosis is triggered by autoantibodies against PF4, which react to specific adenovirus protein in some COVID vaccines. That's the key takeaways. There you go. I'll leave these up if you want to pause it and read the rest. It's boring to me because we've already known this. We were right again. And I got banned from this exact platform for saying that they were causing blood clots. That was one of the things that I got banned for. So that's, no matter how you want to look at it, that's another win. We were right again. Now, one thing you need to understand is that, oh man, this is just perfect. Let's switch back to The View really quick, because Western Lensman did this. Let's take a look at this.
Bottom line is this. Release the damn files and release them now. Release everything.
If this does not implicate Donald Trump, why wouldn't you say release everything? They absolutely have to show us what they're all hiding. If there's nothing to hide, release it all.
But all of that information is out there. Why not just put it to rest and say, release the list?
Because, they should just say, listen, this is what it is. Do you want to offer your G2?
And it looks like they said no thanks.
Yes.
So in other words, anybody can be on this list.
Well, this is my point, because I'm telling you, when I tell you people are trying to turn me into, I wasn't his girlfriend. You used to have facts before you said stuff.
But Trump is on the list 38,000 times.
Well,
After she just said anybody can be on the list.
I can't speak to him, but I'm speaking about me because I'm getting dragged. People actually believe that I was with him.
He drops like 300 names.
Yes.
And it's like flood the
All right,
zone.
you get
because
the-
when you're
you get
looking,
the-
there are
you
people
get the
like,
idea.
Marilyn Monroe.
So there you have it. It's funny how that narrative shifted there. The left likes to tell us, oh, we warned you about Trump. He's screwing everything up, blah, 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 and he's doing the opposite. I mean, the list of accomplishments this guy's brought on, that many of the things haven't even taken effect yet as far as the economy goes. They've started to. But the list of things that I'm thrilled. I mean, the border's secure, 0 crossings, or at least close to 0. I don't necessarily, like Trump says, I don't know if 0 is accurate. It might be close to 0, but I don't know necessarily believe that. Me either. And I mean, the list just goes on and on, guys. They bitched about eggs. Eggs are down. Dairy's down. There's a whole list of things that are down. Matter of fact, I'll show you what's down. Now, the reason I bring up them warning us about Trump is because we hear from them all the time, oh, we warned you he's going to stink and blah, blah, blah. And he doesn't. He doesn't. We're happy. So, well, most of us are. The black pillars are not, but they get paid to do that kind of nonsense. That's the same reason that I get liberals in my comments here, even though I don't push liberal ideology. I don't get pushed to liberal videos, so I know it's not a natural cycle, I guess is my point. I know for a fact that they seek out smaller conservative channels that are starting to grow and come whine. So let me bring this up for you. I'm logging into the YouTube. I want to show you that in a minute here. But we said to New York, don't do it. Don't elect the communist. Don't do it. He's a shady dude. Don't do it. He's already had his house protested for because his mom was good buddies with Ghislaine Maxwell, right? Now let's take a listen to how things in New York are going. This is Mr. Commie Mom Donnie here. Let's hear what he has to say.
What we would rather do is ensure that they remain as they are so that the city can be on firm financial footing. However, in order to get to this point of closing the gap on both this fiscal year and the next fiscal year, we are forced to raid the rainy day fund, the retiree health benefits trust reserve, and to increase property taxes across these other years.
Boom.
What we would rather do is ensure that they remain
So he's raiding their rainy day fund. And what was the other thing? Retiree.
as they are so that the city can be on firm financial footing. However, in order to get to this point of closing the gap on both this fiscal year and the next fiscal year, we are forced to raid the rainy day fund, the retiree health benefits trust reserve, and
Isn't that lovely for retirees? Also that he can send free benefits and welfare to illegals in his city. Yeah. Yep. America first is the way to go, guys. You can't tell me different. So that's another failure, another I told you so that we were right about. We got the COVID vaccine. We've got this. We've got this little video here, and I want to play it because I always try to feature him when he lets out a new video if it fits into the program. So let's go ahead and I'll get that brought up. There we go. Let's take a look at this. This is Don't Watch Run Productions, of course, and we'll get that open. Always love this guy's stuff. Does a great job. We're going to look at Pocahontas here. Let's take a listen to this video. It is about 10 minutes, 27 seconds, and every minute of it is worth it. Let's watch.
This is Elizabeth Warren, the senior senator from Massachusetts. Recently, Warren put out the following social media post about the economy and an exchange with the Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent.
Did grocery prices drop in 2025?
Numerous prices have.
Check out Elizabeth Warren's eye roll, which is basically the way we all looked when she took a DNA test to prove that she was 1024th Cherokee. But let's continue.
Did grocery prices drop in 2025?
Numerous grocery prices have gone down.
I'm sorry, I don't know if you can't hear me.
Oh, he hears you, Liz. Dogs in the next county can hear you.
Did grocery prices drop in 2025?
Numerous grocery prices have gone down.
That clip pretty much sums up my conversation.
Her little editor just had her admitting that some of them have gone down. Numerous. It's a lot, actually, and we've seen it too. But the reason I wanted to show you this is not only because he does a good job with this, but also because he's going to tell you exactly what I've been telling you for, what, since 2024 now? Yeah.
2 weeks ago with Scott Bessent.
That wasn't a conversation, honey. You asked a question, Scott Bessent started giving a truthful response, and you kept cutting him off because facts would get in the way of your grandstanding. The reality is that by the end of 2025, yes, some grocery prices have in fact gone down, including breakfast sausage, down 0.8%, fresh whole chicken, down 1.2%, milk, down 0.9%, cheese, down 1.6%, butter, down 3.4%, other dairy and related products like yogurt and sour cream, down 1.1%, tomatoes, down 3%, potatoes, down 3.4%.
And I'm going to just add to this, when cost of energy, gas, energy in general, lowers, prices for other things drop as well. I'm sure they didn't teach you this when they were teaching you lefties, who I'm sure appear in my comments all of a sudden. I'm sure they didn't teach you this when they were telling you how to cut off your wieners.
Fresh vegetables in general were down 0.2%, and frozen vegetables were down 1.6%. And remember last March when Democrats wouldn't shut up about the price of eggs?
Yeah, even eggs.
Almost everything is getting more expensive. Eggs.
The cost of eggs keeps going up.
Eggs.
Price of eggs through the roof.
Eggs. And yes, eggs. They're getting even more expensive.
Oh, and by the way, eggs more expensive.
Eggs.
Eggs getting more expensive.
And yes, even eggs.
And yes, even eggs.
And yes, even eggs.
Eggs.
Well, by the end of 2025, year over year, the price of eggs was down 20.9%. And for the first month of 2026, egg prices were down 34.2%. One thing's for sure, Democrats aren't screeching about eggs anymore.
Look, denying reality about the economic pain that Americans are feeling. Remember, Donald Trump campaigned on lowering costs on day one.
Like they did when Biden took office and everything went up. Oh, but COVID, well, they locked down the country. All the blue states locked down. All the government locked down the country. They said you can't go to work unless you get a vaccine. You can't do this unless you get a vaccine passport. You can't go see concert. You can't do anything unless you go get this thing that now, they quietly are admitting causes blood clots. So, yeah. My take on that is you can go F yourself.
Those were his words.
So obviously, Trump never said that when he became president that on day one, your grocery prices would be cheaper. He never said that. It takes more than 24 hours to reverse years of inflation, and literally everyone with the pulse knows that. On the other hand, where was Elizabeth Warren when Joe Biden said that he would reduce inflation?
And by the way, talk of inflation, the overwhelming consensus is going to pop up a little bit and then go back down. No one's talking about this great, So again, if it turns out that what I've done so far, what we've done so far, is a mistake, it's going to show.
The
vast majority of the experts, including Wall Street, are suggesting that it's highly unlikely that it's going to be long-term inflation that's going to get out of hand. We will, in fact, reduce inflation.
And a year later, in August 2022, grocery price inflation would rise to a 40-year record high of 13.1%. And overall, grocery prices rose 23.3% during Joe Biden's term. Here's Senator Warren criticizing President Biden's response to inflation. Yeah, I'm kidding. She never did.
He broke his promise and instead drove those costs up. Families paid $150 more for groceries in 2025 under Donald Trump.
Did you hear that? $125 more. Or $150. Listen to this. This is insane.
$150 more for groceries over the course of an entire year? That's an average of $12.50 a month. Damn you, Donald Trump! But seriously, let's put this in perspective. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, in January 2025, a family of 4, 2 adults and 2 children, on a moderate budget, spent an average of $1,376 a month on groceries. 11 months later, they were paying $1,409. That's $33 more than they were paying 11 months prior. Now let's compare grocery price inflation under President Biden. In January 2021, that same family of four was paying $1,105 a month on groceries. By December 2021, monthly costs had increased to $1,175. That's $70 more compared to the month that Biden took office. By December 2022, they were paying $210 more a month. By December 2023, they were paying $233 more per month. And by December 2024, they were paying $257 more per month. So Elizabeth Warren is complaining that under President Trump, families are paying an extra $150 a year for groceries, but didn't say anything when those same families under President Biden were paying hundreds more a month. Why? Because when the economy is bad under a Democrat, it's different.
And the price for basic groceries ballooned. In 2025, coffee prices went up 29%.
The price of coffee was up, but she's lying about the
Now remember, I've told you millions of times why coffee is up right now, and it's going to be coming down.
percentage increase. I know you're shocked. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, in December of 2025, the price of coffee in general was up year over year by 19.8%. Roasted coffee was up 18.7%. Why? Mostly because Brazil faced its worst drought in 70 years, followed by erratic rains and frost, which severely damaged coffee trees. Turns out, Donald Trump doesn't control the weather, at least not in South America.
Beef prices went up 21%.
Fact check false. By the end of 2023, the price of beef and veal was up 16.4% year over year. But this isn't Trump's fault either. In 2025, cattle inventory dropped to its lowest level
Since the 50s, like I've told you.
since 1951. And a parasite outbreak led to trade restrictions on live cattle from Mexico. Since Mexico typically provides about 20% of US beef imports, this cut off a vital safety valve for supply. Or should Trump just let in a bunch of diseased cows in favor of cheaper prices?
I mean, we let liberals live here. Why not? They're a bunch of diseased cows.
Orange juice prices went up 7.6%.
Orange juice prices rose in 2025 thanks to citrus greening disease and hurricane recovery, which decimated local groves in Florida. And the reality is that orange juice prices have been rising since 2021. In fact, prices rose 83.3% under 4 years of President Biden, 45.7% in 2024 alone. What the senator should be asking is, Orange, you glad that prices aren't as concentrated anymore? Oh, come on.
White rice prices went up 6.7%.
Wrong. The price of rice was only up by 0.8% year over year. And even if it was a 6.7% increase, we'd only be talking like a 5-cent increase per pound. It's not quite breaking the bank.
Banana prices went up 5.6%.
And again, that's not Trump's fault either. In late 2025,
Wait a minute. So you're telling me that Somalis suffer the worst? Bananas and rice went up a little bit.
TR4, or Panama disease, was detected in Ecuador, the world's largest banana exporter, which provides about 1/3 of the global banana supply. Thanks to TR4, exports dipped by about 5%. TR4 also affected Costa Rica and Colombia, and affected exports by as much as 23%. And for comparison, the average price for 1 pound of bananas in 2024 was 62 cents. By the end of 2025, prices increased by 5.7%, bringing the price to 66 cents a pound. I mean, 4 cents a pound? How will Americans afford to make the banana bread that no one ever eats and ends up throwing away?
Look, if Donald Trump and his advisors can't even acknowledge a problem, then how are they planning to fix it? The answer? They won't.
Well, Pocahontas, maybe if your fellow Democrats hadn't spent 4 years of treating the economy like a bottomless ATM, the adults in the room wouldn't be spending all of their time cleaning up your mess. But whatever. Keep pretending that higher prices are all due to Trump's economic policies and have nothing to do with 4 years of Bidenomics. It's doing wonders for the Democrats' credibility. Anyway, that's...
All right, guys, there you go. I mean, I couldn't have said it any better myself, even though I've been saying all that for a very long time now. Trump was left with a complete mess, and that's what he's trying to clean up. So this is what you can expect from Democrats. This is just Virginia, okay? Spanberger, the communist CIA, whatever the hell she is, takes over. And these are the new taxes that they want to do in Virginia. New higher income tax brackets for high earners. Net investment income tax. This imposes a 3.8% tax on net investment income, capital gains. It's a capital gains tax, which means that if you have something that you haven't realized the gains of, and I mean, even moderate to low income families have this, say it's a antique car that your grandfather left you, right? That you could sell and it's worth a lot of money. But you don't want to sell it because it's your grandfather's. Well, that's capital gains. You've got profit there that you can make. That's just an example, okay? But that's how that works. For high earners, raising effective rates on passive income. Now, of course, the high earners, once all this kicks in, they'll move out of Virginia, and they're going to want to keep this stuff. Delivery retail tax, targeting services like Amazon, Uber Eats, DoorDash, FedEx, and UPS. This is how Democrats think. Taxes fix everything for us to spend more money. Sales and local tax expenses, additional local sales in counties and cities, new sales tax on admissions, concerts, events, fantasy sports, expanded sales tax base to certain services, gun-related taxes, of course, taxes on guns and ammunition. I'm pretty sure that's pretty big in Virginia. 11% sales tax dedicated to violence prevention funds. No tax on vehicles, even though those kill people. $500 per tax per silencer sale. You notice there's not a transgender tax. They're the ones shooting everything up as of late. Other targeted new taxes, personal property tax on electric leaf blowers and landscaping equipment. So they want you to have everything electric because, you know, it's good for the environment and everything, but now they want to tax you for having these electric things that they want you to have. Taxes on dog walking, grooming, dry cleaning, vehicle home repairs, counseling, gym memberships. Large employer tax, hotel tax increases, taxes on rideshare trips, vehicle repairs, and more. And that's what you get when you get the Democrats, okay? Now, these leftists like to cry about how I'm losing my train of thought. Yeah. My brain just imploded on itself, you guys. Tariffs are a tax on people. But at the same time, tariffs help bring things here, okay? They help bring business here, and they don't have to always stay on if we don't want them to always stay on. They can come off once these places start building here, and they're locked in. However, I would rather they stay because Trump's plan is to get rid of taxes in general, or at least lower them to the lowest they could ever be. That means that that little bit that you're going to pay on tariffs, which it will be a little bit, even when that front end from my last video that we discussed runs out, it's only going to be a little bit on certain things, right? And it's not going to be largely food items. It'll be things like TVs and stuff like that, which if you're buying a new TV every year, that's a you problem. And you already have obviously an issue with your money because you're not doing smart things with it. So having said that, we're going to go listen to what Mom Donnie had to say, and then I'll let you guys go in a minute. After that, I wanted to just show you a few ops that are taking place because they have to, because we're winning. Despite what you see from certain people, we are winning. Take a look at this. This is Mom Donnie excusing what I showed you just a little bit ago of him saying, yeah, we're going to raid this account, that account. Oh, and we're going to raise your property taxes. Let's listen to why he has to do that.
At the heart of this path is a property tax increase. This would effectively be a tax on working and middle-class New Yorkers who have a median income of $122,000. The second path also requires us to raid our reserves. It would mean withdrawing $980 million from our city's rainy day fund in fiscal year 2026 and $229 million from the Retiree Health Benefit Trust in fiscal year 2027. These are steps that have been taken before, but only in moments of extraordinary external crisis. Mayor Bloomberg's response to the 2008 financial collapse, and Mayor de Blasio's response to the enormous revenue shortfall caused by the pandemic. We do not want to have to turn to such drastic measures to balance our budget.
And he blames it on Kathy Hochul for not taxing all the rich people in New York. So what would happen then is they will move, again, to a different state, and they will not be taxed like that. They'll go to Texas or California, or Florida, rather. And for a while there, they were even pushing the idea that they're going to still tax them even when they move. They can't do that. That's unconstitutional. That is extremely illegal. So they know that's not going to work. So there you have it. That is the gist of things. As Trump gets blamed for things that are out of his control, you can clearly see, oh, they deleted it. I won't be able to show you. Did somebody screenshot it? They didn't. I'm so upset, guys. I have it on my phone, but I don't know how I'd bring it here. Anyway, I wanted to show you why we're seeing PSYOPs and how they operate. So this is Brian Krasenstein, who accidentally forgot to log out of his account. You can see I found Krasenstein's sock account posted exact verbatim. So you see this screenshot of this post. It says, I was one of Trump's biggest supporters. I defended him through everything: media attacks, investigations, indictments, nonstop chaos. I stuck with him because I believed he was different. I believed he was going to drain the swamp. I believed he was going to expose the corruption. I believed he was going to take down the people hurting children. That was the whole point. He campaigned on cleaning house, on exposing the elite criminals, on protecting kids, and I bought it fully. And this is actually longer than this, and I can't even show you. Do you see this? This post is from an account that no longer exists. They deleted it. But maybe somebody got a screenshot. Look, this isn't even the account that I saw. That's not the one that was deleted. And there you see it. It's word for word, verbatim. These are lefty bot farms and Krasensteins, who used to run 17-year-old porn site with 17-year-olds on it. Here it is. This was the account. So this had the same account. This had the same post as Krasenstein. He just forgot that he was logged into his Krasenstein. And this is what I've been trying to tell you guys. These are ops. I've seen people trying to say that J.D. Vance is the son of some military dude that's transgender or some nonsense and a Satanist. It's total nonsense. It's not true. I've seen people, you've seen people try to say that Trump was definitely on that boat with George Bush based on a meth head's report to the FBI that they didn't even find credible. These are the ops, guys. So there you have it. This is just one example of that. If you want to see another one, here's this kook. Oh, by the way, the picture that was at the bottom of the post where he posted it from that one that got deleted, this was the photo there. This is the guy it came from, and he's a never Trumper. He has these Instagram accounts here. Blake Humphreys, Blake Jerome 86 on Instagram. So he even stole that to put it in his fake post. Now, since we're scrolling past it, income needed to buy a home falls to 4%. We won't hear anything about that. But you can see people talking about it. See, and there's the deleted account. It was called Melted Minds. And this is his whole post right there. So this shill right here, listen to this. This guy is a op. This is what you call an op. Now, if you recall, beginning of 2025, a guy blew himself up in a Tesla, right? Out front of, I think it was a Trump Towers in Las Vegas or something. And this guy claimed he had inside info and he was hiding and he was on the run. Come to find out, that was all bullshit, and he just went and resumed doing interviews after that. But he had a bigger following because of what he pulled, right? Total shill. Claims that he cares about children and abuse, and then interviews Hunter Biden as though they're the best friends in the world. So here, take a listen to this. This is the perfect example of an op, and I just showed you a bunch of reasons why they need to run these, right? We've got Whoopi Goldberg admitting that she's in the files. We got The View admitting that just because your name's there, like we've been saying since they've been released now, just because your name's in there doesn't mean anything. There's no examples of any crimes that are prosecutorial. Like you can't prosecute anything that's in there. So here you have, and the people that did something wrong, aside from some of the victims who now it comes out they were not necessarily victims, they were adults when they met him, and they also were helping to bring him women for money, just like Ghislaine Maxwell. So that would make Maxwell a victim if we're going to call them victims, but that's a whole nother show. Listen to this.
I've been pretty quiet about Pam Bondi in front of Congress the other day.
No, he
talking
hasn't.
About how the Dow's up to 50,000. Nobody gives a fuck.
I do.
Because what you should be talking about is how you are going to investigate and prosecute any pedophiles that were running around on Epstein Island that you're affiliated with. But we didn't talk about that, did we? Oh, and what's the excuse? What was the excuse? Oh, if we prosecute everybody, the whole system would go down.
Who
Well, you
said
know what
that?
sounds like? You know what that sounds like? That sounds like how Trump ran his campaign. Let's drain the swamp. Doesn't that sound a lot like draining the swamp? It actually is drain the swamp served up to you on a
Now, you could argue that what you're hearing coming out of his mouth on video is exactly what you heard from this Krasenstein op, right? Remember? We'll leave it up there for a sec if you need to pause and take a screenshot or something. Let's let him keep talking. Fucking big nose weirdo.
fucking silver platter. But you're not going to take it, are you? You're going to protect pedophiles. You're going to protect pedophiles.
You're going to interview pedophiles who have literally photos of themselves in sexual, like, weird ways with underage prostitutes in other countries. Hunter Biden, you acted like he was your best fucking buddy, dude.
Rather than go after them and hope that everybody's happy that the Dow hit 50,000.
Damn should be.
Are you fucking out of your mind? I guess the whole drain the swamp campaign promise was another fucking bullshit lie, huh? Man, the lies are stacking up fast. I've never seen so many fucking lies appear in, what, a year? It's only been a fucking year. Look at all the fucking lies.
List them.
You know,
List them.
I wanted to talk to you
You hear this all the time, but they can't list all the lies.
about something else, too. Then you got Pam Bondi and what's that other guy's name? Todd Blanche. Yeah, running around giving Ro Khanna and Massey all this shit because they accidentally put two names that are
4 names
apparently innocent, you know, out that were in the Epstein files. Well, I got fucking news for you. You know, you have two guys that are in Congress that are actually doing shit.
Not really.
And you give them shit because they made a mistake when they're trying to do the fucking job of the entire Department of Justice.
Actually, the Department of Justice was forced on a short timeline to have to release over 3 million pages of freaking files that they were forced to redact and unredact certain names and this, that, and the other with all these legal rules written by Congress. They were the ones that the burden fell onto. You've got Massey and his Ho Khanna or whatever his name is, to the two butt buddies, releasing 4 people who were just simply people that were in a lineup, who volunteered to be in a lineup. That's a bigger blunder than forgetting to cover these so-called victims who have been on TV long before these files were released, complaining about their names being in there. It's a way bigger mistake.
Because nobody over there will do their fucking job when it comes to putting pedophiles away in prison.
Somebody check this dude's hard drive.
So you give them shit because 2 people are trying to do the job of the entire Department of Justice.
The Department of Justice did the job that they could do in a short time frame. So anyway, this is an op, and you want to know how I know it's an op? Watch who shared it. Republicans against Trump. There's your first sign, guys. There's your first sign. So also, this is from TechnoFog. The Mac. Oh, this is not going to show. I'll have to read it to you like this. Let me bring it over. It says, Ghislaine Maxwell has been sentenced 20 years in prison. Will others be brought to justice? After Maxwell was charged, there was another ongoing grand jury investigation into other possible co-conspirators of Jeffrey Epstein. That investigation has not been made public. And it says here and highlighted, as the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York has stated publicly, the investigation onto the conduct of the defendant in this case and other possible co-conspirators of Jeffrey Epstein remains active. The full scope and details of that investigation, however, have not been made public. This is from legal documents here. So that could mean that they're looking into these so-called victims who are helping traffic. So keep that in mind. Those are the actual criminals, in my opinion. Those are the ones that helped traffic for money other women. And I don't care who gets mad at me for saying that. Those are the facts. So there you see it, guys. You're going to see ops like you haven't. I've been warning you guys, you're going to see ops like crazy. We have been for almost 2 years now. They started before Trump even took office, but won the election. Also, lastly, we'll just look at this. According to Rasmussen reports, take this with a grain of salt. These guys, I don't know, they're all over the map. But anyway, Trump overnight presidential job approval is in. Single overnight approval for last night, 49.16. Now, why I say take this with a grain of salt is that I think he's way above that. I think he's at 50 at least, maybe 52. That's just my take, and it's simply because not a whole lot has changed since last December when he was still high. Nothing has changed. There was a dead insurgent and another dead insurgent. People have pretty much forgotten about this, okay? And even then, this narrative that all of a sudden people don't like the way the border is being handled, now that it's at 0 crossings or close to 0 crossings, stop. That's another poll that they let out. I was just laughing about. But these are ops, dude. These are to keep us from going to the polls in November. This is what I've been telling you for years, 2 years since Trump took office, that this is the stuff they're going to pull to try to make you feel like there's no point in going to the polls. Okay? And you got to go to the polls. We have to show up like we did in 2024, because the alternative is we become Virginia, California, Portland, Oregon in general, Washington State. That's the option for the entire country if these people take over. Plus, Trump's his whole agenda is shot at that point if Democrats win. Hell, I saw a poll that put Jasmine Crockett ahead of what's the guy's name that's running against her? I can't even think of Paxton. Yeah, in Texas. Yeah, don't think so. Sorry, just don't think so. And there's another poll that came out that said that Kamala, if they ran today, would be ahead of Trump. Like, oh yeah, I'm sure everybody forgot that she can't speak. She looks always drunk, and she was in charge of the border, which is pretty much one of the main things besides affordability that her administration caused, that caused the Trump win. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's all to mess with your mind. That's why I always say, good or bad, I don't necessarily trust any polls at all. Anyway, guys, that's what I got for you. I will let you go. I will talk to you again very, very soon. I hope you all have a great, I think it's a Tuesday evening, and peace out.